Here in this example, you are finding the inverse function from the information given. So what I see here is the relationship between Fahrenheit and Celsius scales. It's a pretty standard formula. F equals G of C. They call it G of C because C is the independent variable and G of C is the dependent variable, which is nothing but the Fahrenheit scale. Okay, so in order to find this, we need to follow those few steps that we talked about. Finding the inverse function. If you're not sure, please look at your readings on textbook. You can see the 3 steps. The first step would be to write it as f equals, in this case, 9 over 5 c plus 32. And the second step would be to replace or switch c and f. So wherever I see f, I'm going to put c, and wherever I'm seeing c, I'm going to put f. So it's 9 over 5f plus 32 equal to, and the third step is to solve for the implicit variable f in terms of c. So I'm solving for f. So first I would move the 32 to the other side. So c minus 32 equals 9 over 5f. So then I'm going to cross multiply by 5. So it's 5 times c minus 32 is equal to 9f. Divide both sides by 9. That'll give you f is equal to 5 times c minus 32 over 9. Now switch it back. So now your f would become your cf inverse, or the inverse function. And therefore this will be c is equal to 5 times f minus 32 over 9. So technically you're switching it back and forth. So that's what would go here. 5 times f minus 32 over 9. So what is it telling me? It gives me that this G inverse of f is representing the Celsius temperature that corresponds to the Fahrenheit temperature. The Celsius temperature that corresponds to the Fahrenheit temperature. Okay, and for the second part of the problem, the question is asking me to find G inverse 77. So which means I have to go and plug in 77 over here. So it's 5 times 77 minus 32 over 9. So if I use my calculator, or not here, okay. 77 minus 32 is 45 times 5 divided by 9, so it's 25. Okay, so 25 would go here. And what does this represent? It represents the Celsius temperature that corresponds to 77 degree Fahrenheit. Okay. The next problem is asking me to find the values from the graph of the function is given. They want us to find the inverse function. Okay, so here one thing we know is the domain of the function is equal to the range of the inverse function. And range of the function is equal to the domain of the inverse function. So the question here is asking me to find the inverse function's value. It's asking when f inverse of 2 is. So first let me locate the points here. So this coordinate is x is 0, y is 6, and this would be x is 4, y 4. This point would be x 2, y 5, and this point would be, I'm just picking some random points, x 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, comma 0. Okay, so the question is asking me to find what f inverse of 2 is. So in order to find that, I will have to look for where the graph is at 2, right? Then my y is 2, and my y is 2. Where is the graph? So this is my y2, 1, 2. So this is the point I'm looking for. I should have picked that too. So it's 4, 5, 6, comma 2 is that point. And my y5 would be this point. I already picked it. y6 is that point. Okay. So here when y is 2, what is the x value? So for the first one, the answer is going to be 6. Okay. When y is 5, what is the x value? So for this, the answer is going to be 2. And y is 6, what is going to be the x value? The answer is 0. Again, it's all because the domain of the function is the range. The range of the function is the domain. So if I know one or the other, then I can interchange it, right? So if I have to write the inverse, this is whatever I'm seeing there is the function and the points. So if I have to write the inverse function, let me write the coordinates here. So inverse function coordinates, my first point is going to be 6, 0, 5, 6, 0. The next point is going to be 5, 2. X is 5, y is 2. The third point is going to be 4, 4, no change. So that's going to be one of the point. And the fifth point is going to be 2, 6. And x is 2, y is 4, 5, 6, that point. And the last one is 0, 8. And x is 0, 6, 7, 8. So that's the point. Okay. So if I graph this point, this will be symmetrical with respect to the identity line. So this is the inverse function, and with the help of that, now I can say when x is 2, the answer is 6. So this is my point that goes in here. When x is 5, it's 2. So that's the point, right? And the last one, when x is 6, y is 0. So that will be my last answer.